Welcome to my new-ish shop. Well everyone, welcome back to the new-ish shop. So if you saw the previous video, you saw me standing in this space saying that this was going to be the new space and I was going to get the shop moved in so that if we had to move into my mom's house to help take care of her, the shop was done and all we would have to do is just move our furniture and regular belongings over. Well, everything changed and we moved in. So that's why the shop is still not moved in. But it's done, finished the floor. It has been curing for a few days. So I'm gonna spend a few minutes talking about the shop and the construction, and then I'm gonna mention some Blazer stuff and I'm gonna mention some life stuff, and that's basically gonna be this whole video. So I'm gonna try to keep it short so it's not too boring, but if you're curious what I've been up to lately, this video will explain all. So I think in the last video, I kind of got you up to the point that I had the sheetrock done, moved some electrical stuff around. Now the ceiling is finished. I've got 22 LED can lights up here. Well, not can lights, but you know, the modern equivalent. And got 4 speakers hooked to an amplifier that will play through these speakers or a couple speakers in the big shop. I think I might do a separate video on how I made that amplifier, and I'll share the 3D print files so people can make their own, because there doesn't seem to be much on the market that fills that niche at this point. Separate video for that coming someday. But the main thing that's been holding me up in the shop is the floor. Obviously I can paint the walls with stuff in here if I pull it away from the walls. I can't put anything on the floor till the floor is painted. So I got that finished this week. Here's what it looks like. It is the standard ArmorPoxy color with the black, white, and blue flakes. I got the optional primer because my square footage was just a little bit over what they recommended. The primer helps it go farther, and at 350 square feet, it was the perfect amount. So as far as preparation goes, most kits, including the ArmorPoxy kit, comes with acidic solvent that you put on the concrete, you scrub it, you rinse it off, and that's supposed to chemically etch it to receive the paint. I didn't do that for 2 reasons. One was that professional opinion is that that's not good enough. It's better than nothing, but ideally you should have a mechanical removing. And the second reason is because I can't rinse in here because there's no floor drain. I opted to mechanically prep the surface. I was looking around locally how much it would cost to rent a floor grinder, and for not a lot more money I could buy a grinder and dust shroud and grinding wheel, do it myself. So that's what I did. I went for the more expensive at Harbor Freight grinder, the Hercules over the Bauer, erroneously thinking that the Hercules shroud would fit without a bunch of finagling and adapting and it would just be made for it. It's not. If I had to do it again, I'd probably just buy the Bauer and save $45. I had to use the adapters, and even when I would put the shroud on, the actual grinding surface of the cup wheel was a good 10 mil below the brushes. So I started with that and I had to really lean on it and bend those brushes out of the way to hit the floor. And that's not only tiring, it doesn't give you a very good finish. So I had to take the plastic spacers that go around the middle, shave them down to the point that the whole dust shroud would slide down. Then I had to add the 10 mil spacer on the cup wheel all the way up. So it was only on about 1 turn. Didn't like that too much. It still worked fine. It collected all the dust. It was pretty much to the point where when you would set the cup on the concrete, the brush was just touching, and that worked out perfect. I ended up grinding the whole floor. I did leave some grooves because I was not that good at it and still trying to get the hang of it. But once you get it painted and you get the flakes on, totally disappears. So I would totally do it again. It took maybe an hour or 2. I did it over the course of 2 days so I could rest. But if you've got some knee pads on and you just kind of focus on, you know, the area you can reach and you're happy with that, you just move to the next, it really goes pretty quickly. If you rent a grinder, it's a little more cumbersome. You have to pick it up, you have to deliver it. Then you're under the time crunch. You have to get it done by the end of the day to return it. So I'm glad I went this route. I also got a 7-inch grinder out of the deal. For sealing the seams, I decided to try this concrete patch from DAP that you can get at any home center or hardware store. And it actually worked pretty well. All I did is I cleaned out the gaps really well with compressed air, a vacuum, and then I just packed that putty in there as hard as I could, let it dry for a couple days, and it kind of shrunk down to a concave, and I just went back over the top of it, waited another day or two, and then just could shave it off with razor blades. It got it level, I ground it, and it's almost completely disappeared. I think it shrunk a little bit. If I get in the right light, I can kind of maybe see where the lines used to be, but as long as I'm not losing screws and collecting dust in there, I'm fine with it. So that's pretty much it for the shop. As for the Blazer, there was one project that I didn't document because we were in a hurry. We were trying to get moved in here, and we needed the Blazer to tow the trailer to haul our furniture, and I sprung a gas leak, and it turned out it was the gas line rusting through. Not surprising, it's Iowa, the car is almost 25 years old. I got this kit from eBay, but he also has a website outside of eBay, but I highly recommend it. Replaces all the fuel related lines with plastic lines. They're never gonna rust again. It all like clicked together perfect. It comes with a new filter. It was cheaper than the factory lines. It went in faster than the factory lines. Really, I spent half my time getting the gas tank out. Once I got the gas tank out, it was basically just like clicked it back together, slapped it in, I was done. The whole thing took an afternoon. So definitely recommend you do it if you have the same problem. He's got them for 2-door Blazers, 4-door Blazers, S10s, a whole bunch of models, I think, but it was exactly what I needed. I couldn't be happier how it all went together. And quickly, life updates. The reason I haven't put up any updates in the last month or so is because we've decided to move into my mom's house to help take care of her. If you missed the last video, my mom has Alzheimer's. She's not at the point yet where she doesn't know who anyone is, but she is at the point where she doesn't remember how to make a phone call if there's an emergency, and she can't cook for herself. She doesn't know how to use any of the appliances in the house anymore. So she pretty much needs somebody here all the time, because if she were to fall, she would just be completely helpless. So my aunt already lives here and has for years, but it's gotten to the point where my aunt couldn't even leave her alone during the day anymore. So my wife and I have moved in to the basement, and we've been refinishing it down there, making it a nice little place for us. And then if my aunt's not going to be here, we can just come upstairs and stay with her, not have to drive from our house. And it's been so nice having that convenience of just being there in the house to help out when she needs it. It's also just nice to hang out with her and spend some time with her. You know, during the week, normally I just go to work, go home, go to bed, but now I can, you know, spend an hour and, you know, maybe just watch a TV show with her, hang out, whatever. But it's been really nice, and I'm glad we made the change. Yeah, going from a 3-bedroom house to a 1-bedroom basement with no kitchen is a big life adjustment, especially when you're in your 40s and you think you're supposed to be getting to that like fun empty nest, buy a condo in Jamaica time of your life, not moving into your mom's basement. But, you know, life throws things at you and you just gotta roll with it. But the videos should be coming a little more regularly now. Once I get everything moved into the shop, this will be my new area to film in. No more videos at the old house in front of the white cabinets. I still don't have any heat installed in here. It should at least be good for a couple more months. I'll try to get some heat installed before winter, but I could be able to pull a car in here soon, and we'll actually get some more videos coming. I want to pull everything out of the Blazer again, put in some sound deadening, and I also have a few things I want to do on the Fiat 500. I don't know if anybody cares about that, but here for Blazer videos. Probably not a lot of crossover from ZR2 Blazers to Abarth 500s, but that's what you get with me. So there'll be more to come. That's all we got. I appreciate all you guys hanging around, watching videos. I haven't forgotten about you. I'm still here. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.